And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break, but we have our next matchup. We have our final qualifying match here. Oh, sorry, our second last qualifying match of the qualifier. Here we go. Welcome back to IEM Katowice 2024, the European Server Closed Qualifier. We're about to begin here with Kelazhur versus SKillous. SKillous did 2-0. A laser did eliminate him from the tournament. And now we have 4 players left. We have Kelazhur, SKillous, Classic, and Spirit. 4 players remaining, and 3 of them will earn tickets to IEM Katowice. 1 will not. Oh boy. And who is that one gonna be? We're here to find out. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Radisson Station, we have our blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Predictions of them. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Terran representing himself. He's currently teamless, was once on Team Liquid, no longer. It is Kelazhur. And again, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. You can place your bets on how you think this best of 5 qualifying match will unfold. As a reminder, the winner of this series gets a plane ticket to IEM Katowice. The loser will be knocked down to another qualifying match. There's one more qualifying match here after this, and both SKillous, Kelazhur, as well as Spirit and Classic, they have another chance here. The losers of those series, they have another chance to qualify for IEM. And here we go. Game 1 is going to be on Radisson Station. We do have a Gate Expand here from SKillous. Likewise, a Rax Expand out of Kelazhur. Game 1 on Radisson Station. You know things are about to pop up. Things are about to get rowdy, Bobby. As we did see something similar earlier today, we saw Kelazhur versus Showtime, and Kelazhur, he went for a Rax Expand into a 3rd CC. Meanwhile, Showtime went for a 2-base all-in, went for a proxy robo, and was able to kill Kelazhur before Kelazhur could really muster up anything. He had a handful of Marines, he went for a 3-Rax follow-up, and he got completely punished, he got completely shut down. This time though, SKillous going for a much more standard opener, and the game here on Radisson Station typically is how greedy can you be. We can see that Kelazhur, he has been tempered by Showtime, and he is not going for a fast 3rd, he's going for a 2nd rack. So he's, again, just calming things down, easing his way into the mid game, not being as greedy as he otherwise could be. Meanwhile, SCV Scout's coming in, just making sure everything's on the up and up. Confirms the Nexus, the first pylon, and soon the 2nd pylon as well. So he confirms there is no proxy. There is nothing else out on the map. Here we go. Meanwhile, the Marines did fan out just to shut down probes, just to make sure that everything was on the up and up. Something else to bear in mind as, we have a robo opener from SKillous. Very interesting. Okay, so there's a lot to get into. One, when it comes to TVP, if you were here for the previous series between Kelazhur and Showtime, you would know that Kelazhur is hyper aggressive. We saw some like 1-base play, we saw some 2-base all-ins. Kelazhur was hyper aggressive. And I'm pretty sure that's going to continue to be the case. Like, Kelazhur is a very aggressive player in general. We'll see if SKillous can keep up with him, can keep up with Diego, as there's that 3rd CC already on the way. Very fast 3rd base here from Kelazhur after the 2nd Rax, but before the 3rd Rax. Well, as he does push on forward, he does catch the Adept. Very nice pick off. Meanwhile, with a robe opener, this is a very safe way to play. For those that are curious, Stargate play and Twilight Council openers, they both allow you to gain map control. Phoenixes, they shut down drops, of course, and they shut down any kind of move out. Blink Stalkers do the same. To go for a robo opener means that you give up map control. You don't really have anything to gain a map presence, and instead you're going for fast Immortals and fast Colossus. And there it is. Robotics Bay is on the way. This should be for Colossi. The Prism first gives me some mixed signals. This is a way to move out with Adepts, true. This could also lead to something crazy like a Disruptor drop. Meanwhile, the Marines have arrived. Shield Battery is up and running though. Kelazhur's in the dark. He has yet to see the tech. He missed the tech earlier with his SCV Scout. He is unaware as to what he's up against. And again, robo openers are very unorthodox. You don't see them too often. Observer first comes across the map, does get eyes on the 3rd base. A scan into the main reveals the Robotics Bay. We don't see the robo, but the bay tells us that it was a robo-based opener, and we are now aware that our opponent is rushing into Colossus. Again, Disruptor drops are not impossible, but again, they're just very uncommon, and it's a safe bet here that it's going to be a Colossus. So Kelazhur, he's aware of how kind of defensive and tech heavy his opponent is being. And sure, the downside here is that SKillous can't really be active on the map outside of this Warp Prism. That's true, but again, we're just being greedy here. Like, we're fine. We're just turtling on 3 bases. At least SKillous is. Likewise, Kelazhur is doing something similar. Going into a 5 racks behind. Oh my god, that is a lot of raxes. The 5 racks has been scouted. The Observer goes down, but did see everything it needed to. Basically, with the delay on the factory and the delay on the starport, this is going to be a very heavy bio army here from Kelazhur. Eventually, we will push once we get our medevacs out. We could even try to push before that with Stim, as that is finally the factory on the way. Meanwhile, here comes that Prism. We're going for a Colossus drop into the natural base. And there's no way to punish it. There's no way to punish this Colossus. SCVs are going down. Stim isn't done, by the way. That's 3 dead SCVs. And the Colossus can just kite back here, pivot away to the low ground, and have its way with this mineral line. Additional SCVs will be falling. It'll be 4 in total. We're going to get 5. Get nice moves here from SKillous. Meanwhile, Kelazhur is going to be pushing. I say pushing. I think his goal here is to try to get onto the other side of this cliff. Try to get us around onto that prism. Try to catch it. Stim is done, by the way. And no, never mind. We're actually pushing. Oh my god, okay. I assumed we would try to catch the prism, but no. We are going across the map. We're going to try to punish SKillous. SKillous does have a Colossus at home to defend, but it's looking very exposed. Hallucination comes out. Does spot the army. SKillous, he's aware, and now he's racing back home, aware of how vulnerable he is. He does pull back to the safety of that shield battery of the overcharge. Meanwhile, across the map, that turret putting in some work. We do scam, but now there's a second Colossus, which means SKillous is perfectly safe and sound, and Kelazhur is now in a lot of trouble here. This is a pretty committed army, very expensive, and it looks like it's going to be chased down. Here comes the flanking Colossus. Force to stim. The Colossus, it comes in from the flank. Ooh, should be getting a swipe off, forcing another stim. Oh my god. Again, Kelazhur just being a little bit too adventurous, a little bit too cavalier, gets punished. And now, Skills can push. We have 3 Colossus. We have a 4th Colossus on the way. Oh my, that's a lot of Colossus. It's a lot of Colossi available here for our Blue Protoss. As the army does make it back home, we are going... Are we skipping medevacs? We are. Crazy, we're going Viking first, which means this army is heavily overstimmed, and we're just going to try to hold the line. Boys are being pulled to repair. SKillous doesn't commit. Is taking behind this. We have the Forge on the way, Templar Archive, Storm, +1, 4th base. SKillous, he's just containing. He is not really looking to push into any of these bases, just containing his opponents. Could go for some Colossus harass, don't get me wrong, but doesn't really intend to really force the issue, as he's getting further ahead behind this. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, where do we go from here? One, we're a little bit supply blocked, unfortunately. Medevacs are finally on the way to sustain this army, to allow ourselves to stim a little bit more freely. The Viking first makes a lot of sense, just so we can shut down those War Prisms. The War Prism, it's been very annoying, and a thorn in Kelazhur's side. SKillous does back off, working towards that 4th. As we mentioned before, just really refining his army. He's up to 4 Colossi, which is an insane amount of splash damage. We are missing Storm, though, and we should be working on it soon. Ideally, we do want to kind of spread out the splash damage, and it looks like we're going to be skipping Storm. We're going for a 2nd Robo. It looks like Colossus into Disruptors. I mean, regardless, we need to diversify the splash damage in some way, shape, or form. Gold base is being taken as the 5th. SKillous. Oh my god. Papi. I mean, he has map controls, so why not take the gold? Porque los dos. Meanwhile, the Observer's in position. We do see the move out. SKillous rotates over. He does have eyes on Kelazhur. He even sees him retreat. Paracons are morphed in, and good baits when it comes to those Widow Mines. Oh, we do see the Observer. Oh, no! It lives! The Observer that lived barely does escape the Vikings. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's... But as the Observer backs off, Kelazhur, he's wild, he's crazy, he's going for a Doom drop, but SKillous has controlled the Zonaga. He has the Zonaga. He has a spotter pylon as well. This drop is going to be spotted. It's going to be scattered. SKillous, he sees, he knows. Does he turn back around or does he commit? We got to make a choice. Do we recall? As the Doom drop does get into the 4th base. Meanwhile, we're committing up the ramp. The mines might just go off. We do recall back home. We're forced to. Nexus is not going to go down. We try to focus on some of the Colossus. One goes down. Blink is not done. Again, because of the delayed Twilight Council, Blink is late. Oh, but that was 20 dead SCVs. Oof. A lot of workers did go down from the side of Kelazhur. Rocks are being focused. Kelazhur stuck here outside the bases. At least he does break free, and he does have a supply lead, don't get me wrong, but there's still 3 Colossi. Second Robo did finish, but no disruptors yet, I believe. Yeah, no disruptors. Instead, we're going for a second Stargate, or a first Stargate even. Not the drop! Blink is done. So many Marines go down. Going for the scan. The Kelazhur, he has to make a choice. He's trying to collapse on this army. No, he's going for a big counterattack to the 4th base. Recall is on cooldown. We did just use it. Well, the medevacs, no! They're not where they need to be. Oh my god. There we go. They do move over, but that's a lot of damage dealt. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, he is going straight for that Nexus. And we should get a kill in this space, not just the base, but also the workers. Yeah, the mineral line is going to go down. The army walks through the minefield. Kelazhur, he can pivot away. He could actually fight this, I'm not going to lie. This army is looking a little bit vulnerable. Show me the EMPs. Yeah, we're coming in from behind. The Colossus is going to be going down. Kelazhur, he just collapses on this army. SKillous called with only half his forces, the Stalkers that were left behind. But the Disruptors, they have arrived. No, they walk into their deaths. Bit of a miss rally. The Disruptors, they go down, and now we're forcing our way up the ramp. Just like that, Kelazhur is snowballing out of control. Takes down another base. Cleans up the army. And can go straight for that natural. It looks like we're buying enough time for another wave of Disruptors. Disruptors are on the horizon. Kelazhur is maxed out. He can take another fight, and he will. Ooh, is heavily overstimmed. Oh my god. Again, he's only got 2 medevacs. They have too much to do. They're overworked. As we go toe-to-toe with the army. SKillous trading well. But it may still just be too much. Again, another stim. Oh my god. And you can see Kelazhur plummeted in supply because of how fragile his army is. He wants the Disruptor. Not gonna get it. God, he's been stimming his entire army as well. Good EMP on the Archon. Zealot's gonna be going down. The Disruptors, they need more time, and they're gonna go down. Both Disruptors do fall. Additional Disruptors on the way. Kelazhur still has momentum. He needs a moment here to breathe and to just heal up his units. Does have a 4th base, working on a 5th. Do have 1 Nova in the chamber. Now 2. Novas go off. Don't quite connect. Still have a couple more Purification Novas as well. Oof. Nice blinks out of SKillous. The goal base so far uncontested, by the way. Oh, Kelazhur, he hasn't seen, he doesn't know. He hasn't seen the gold. He doesn't know that SKillous is ahead economically, and SKillous is recovering. There was a time in this game where Kelazhur, he was up like 60 supply. But the suit does lie, and SKillous, he is catching up. Nova's going to be going off. Not the best connection. If we get 1 juicy connection, then SKillous, he can hold. Show us what you got. So far, going to be engaging. Forcing a little bit of friendly fire as well with that Widow Mine. SKillous now down only 30 supply. And again, this gold is huge for him. Like, it's keeping him in this game. It's keeping him afloat. If Kelazhur was aware 100%, this base would be dead. If he was aware. If only he knew. Behind this, Mine's going to be going down. Zealot counterattack shuts down the 5th. Ooh, we do snipe a full medevac. Full Medivac is going to be going down. We do get an EMP that misses the Archons. SKillous still very much so in this. Never goes up. So let's shave off some of those units. We do have a scan. Now we get eyes on the cannons. We now realize what's been going on. We now finally get eyes on the gold. Kelazhur still has momentum, but that is still a lot of disruptors. Yeah, we can't really dive in as a result. Oof. As it looks like we're just zoning SKillous away, and Kelazhur is now diving on that gold base. Overcharge gets swapped. Shield battery gets focused down. The Archons, the EMPs! Big EMPs on the Archons. Nova! Oh, massive connection! Purification is going to be going, but not again! Oh my god! 2 big connections back to back. And just like that, can we hold on to the gold? It looks like we can. We have Zealot reinforcements coming in. And SKillous, he's taking 5 big mine shots go off. Very back and forth. Ay, ay, ay. But again, these disruptors, they are the great equalizers, and they're keeping SKillous in this. Still down in supply. 5th base getting up and running. SKillous likewise taking another base. We do have the minefield waddling in. Uh-oh. The Widow Mines. They're getting into the mineral line. Probes, get out of here. Not the best connections. All the mine shots do go off. You see SKillous pivoting around with those stalkers. Likewise, so is Kelazhur looking to deny some of these fresh mining bases. And the Widow Mines, they will go down. But we have more mines! The minefield! It looks like we do get on top of this Nexus. Base is going to go down. The Nova does miss this Widow Mine. It's a kill on the Nexus. At the same time, Zealot counterattack, but we have a Planetary. Planetary will hold. We can mule. And this is still anyone's game. At this point, things have evened up. Ship weapons is on the way. We have range as well. It looks like Kelazhur is working towards Liberators. Liberators would be a good way to counteract this ground-based army. But he's not there yet. He needs some time. There we go. 4 Liberators being made at once. Can we catch these disruptors? And the disruptor's looking a little bit vulnerable. He wants them. He goes for the scan. Oh, he's thinking about it. Kelazhur making sure that he doesn't have an observer on him. You can see just 2 big armies here from Kelazhur, trying to find an opening. The gold base is running out of minerals. We are mining it out. As it looks like Kelazhur is going to be gaining some ground here. We'll be able to kite well here against these Zealots, and should clean them up. Here comes some reinforcements from SKillous. The Zealots trading well for themselves overall. At the same time, War Prism into the main. Kelazhur, he's being forced back. The War Prism won't be able to find too much damage. Liberators have been revealed. And Kelazhur is going to be able to remax. Liberators, they have arrived, and they will change the flow of this battle. Depending on the positioning, though, we don't want to fight out in the open. Observer does see the army. SKillous keeping up. To EMP the shield battery. Liberators have arrived. We have to commit. We do have to commit. Liberators are going to be going down. They're a little bit too far forward. And the Liberators, they get completely shut down. Novas go off. Big connections. And it looks like SKillous, can he take the fight? More Novas go off. The Libs, they're doing what they can. They hold on. Oh no. Oh my god, as we pull back to the shield batteries, to the overcharge as well. SKillous, he does hold on. Does take a better fight. Good Novas. How many Liberators went down? 6 Liberators in that one fight. There were so many of them, but they were a little bit too far forward. Just like that, the win condition, the advantage that Kelazhur had, the advantage is not quite there, not anymore. He's down to 2 Liberators with this army. Now 1. A Liberator was trying to harass, but it does get caught out. SKillous taking another base, taking a 6th. Sorry, 7th base even. This is the 6th. Jesus. Now, the worker count's still really low. Because of the worker counts, Kelazhur, I would say, is slightly ahead economically because of mules. And the gold base is running out as well. Bear that in mind. But this is still so close. Again, like 1 or 2 good Novas and SKillous can still win a fight. Likewise, if Kelazhur does position those libs. Ooh, as it looks like... no, Kelazhur. It looks like Kelazhur is experiencing a bit of a lag spike, and hopefully it does clear up. Oh, good guy, SKillous. Take your time, Bobby. Take your time. Oh, feels good, man. Oh my god. But this has been pretty intense, pretty back and forth. There were definitely moments where Kelazhur had a lead. Remember, there was that moments where I think he was up 60 supply, or maybe even 70 supply. It was crazy when he was overstimmed, when he had just like a massive Marine Marauder army, and he didn't have eyes on the gold. The gold paid for itself. It kept SKillous in it. We fought back and forth. Now we have a split map scenario where SKillous is on 6 bases, now taking a 7th base towards the bottom right, and Kelazhur doing the same. Still anyone's game. Still could go either direction. I think I want to give the edge to SKillous at the moment. I think currently, because the Liberator count was reset, I do think that... Oh, as it looks like ping has cleared up. No. I think I want to give the edge to SKillous' army at the moment, but that could change. As Liberators are sieging, forcing back the army. With the arrival of these Liberators, usually that does start like a Skytoss transition from the Protoss if they had a bank, but SKillous doesn't really have much of an economy to work with. Could we do someone for decent EMPs? But there's no backbone to the army, and Kelazhur, he has to retreat. Yeah, he has to back off. Gives up on this position, another Liberator goes down. Go. We have a wave of Liberator reinforcements. Freedom has arrived. Still, though, very wide open. This is not the best place for Kelazhur to fight.
Game paused.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he is again experiencing a bit of a lag spike. Really unfortunate, actually. Like, this is a really intense moment. Like we kick them all off. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Turn them off. This is when you actually enter your modem, and you set your MAC address for like to prioritize your PC, and to like throttle everyone else that's on Wi-Fi. I totally haven't done that before. Let us go. Let's make sure you turn off Steam. Close Steam. Make sure there's nothing downloading in the background. Oh, but yeah, hopefully everything's okay, and hopefully everything clears up. SKillous, good man, good man, good man. Very wholesome, very wholesome. I mean, they're ex-teammates, so I'm sure they're good friends. Here we go. Looks like we have kicked the family off of the Wi-Fi. Everyone's turning on their 5Gs. We're getting back into this. Here we go. Yeah, the free. Oh, look at the free. Jeez, that's a lot of freedom. Oh my god. 9 Liberators with 4 more libs on the way. Oh my god. That is going to be going off. Again. SKillous, he needs to avoid those freedom zones. We do take down the Planetary, out positioning Kelazhur. Planetary goes down. Nevers go up. 1 Liberator will get picked off here. Meanwhile, that's going to be 12 dead. There were a couple of Zealots left behind. 12 dead SCVs. A big blow to the economy of Kelazhur. It wasn't big to begin with. And SKillous looking to come back in. At the same time, going for a big zealot counterattack, catching reinforcements. Kelazhur is being pulled apart. The Liberators, they stay back at him. That's a kill, not a cancel on the CC. Kelazhur struggling to keep up. More SCVs going down. Zealots, they do get into the natural base as well, into the pocket base. But here comes the freedom. We get some disruptors. We get 1. We get 2. We get 3. Oh my, and an observer. Very nice pickoffs. Does make up for the dead workers, but the SCVs, sorry, the Zealots have still not been dealt with. Finally will be cleaned up. Is Kelazhur still living in Europe? No, he's back in, I believe he's back in Brazil for the holidays. Back in Brazil. Oh, back with his family. There we go. The Liberators will be sieging forward. As Zealot Runby finally cleaned up at Kelazhur. He can focus on his attack. Ooh, does take a Nova to the face. Pretty good Nova, not gonna lie. I think that was 2 or 3 Marauders. But we take down the base itself. And SKillous, he's going for the base trade. He ignores the army. At this point, Kelazhur has hit critical mass of Liberators. We cannot engage. And we gotta go. There's still even more libs back at home. Oh my god, Liberators everywhere. There's too much freedom. As we have broken into the natural, can be the production, getting on top of the starport. As Kelazhur is slowly leapfrogging forward, but at the same time, SKillous, he's breaking into the main. Yeah, with these 3 Colossi, he's pushing into the main base. He will get on top of those Raxes. Likewise, Kelazhur getting on top of the Robos. But this is more impactful, I feel. This is more impactful where we're just camping the production. Kelazhur, likewise, he's on a timer. We gotta go, we gotta send it. SKillous already remaxed. Liberator's not going to be good enough. Not anymore. Not in few numbers. Not like this. Biggie. Oh my, massive EMPs. Kelazhur diving on top of the army. Diving on top of the disruptors as well. There's 3 left. There's 2. Really good fight here from Kelazhur. Suddenly, things swinging more in his favor. It's so close. The reinforcements, these libs are getting picked up. Meanwhile, SKillous at this point, he needs to start throwing down production. He needs to start throwing down tech in the corners of the map. As he's still on top of the Raxes though. That's the problem. He's still just on top of everything, and Kelazhur, he just can't make anything, not anymore. SKillous sending his ults across the map. Not the best execution here of the base trade from Kelazhur. Yeah, the Raxes, they are going to be lifting. Planetary going to try and hold on. Zealots, they do get the surround, but we have the counter repair. Kelazhur keeping his base alive. And he will get on top of the production. Meanwhile, here it is. 4 more gateways. So SKillous, he's starting to throw down his production elsewhere. He needs those gateways. He needs warp-ins. Meanwhile, CC is going to be burning. The Ghost Academy goes down. A big pick-off. Kelazhur, he has some resources, but 0 production. Oh, he did save some Raxes, I guess. We're going to be floating over, running into additional Nexi. I mean, again, SKillous, he has almost every other base on the map. I feel like we're wasting our time a little bit here. I feel like we have to go for some of the economy. We take down all these gateways. Likewise, these Raxes, they're exposed. And from here, SKillous, he can camp these Raxes once again. But I think he's coming back home. Uh-oh. Oh, the 1 Void Ray. But SKillous looks like he is turning back around. Looking at the army supplies, SKillous is ahead. Kelazhur, oh, can't get caught out. The Novas! Big Nova's gonna be going. Big connection as well. Oh my god. Massive connection on the army. And that may just be it. At this point, that may be it. Kelazhur, he will be losing these fringe bases. He barely has an army left. Wasn't a bad move to go for the base trade, but it did feel like the base trade was a little bit lackluster from Kelazhur. But so close, this game so back and forth. I mean, to be fair, Kelazhur wasn't the one who committed to the base trade, it was SKillous. After seeing all those libs, he knew he couldn't engage, but the Stalkers are coming in from behind, and these Liberators, they're gonna go down. They can't protect themselves. Colossus is gonna fall, but so will every single Liberator to our left. And SKillous, he's just picking apart this army. We have a Tempest. Tempests are on the way. We're taking Kelazhur's gold. Kelazhur is down to 2 mining bases, or 1.5 really. Kelazhur is down to his last. He's down to 2 Liberators, 3 Ghosts, 29 Marines. A good Marine count. The probes are being found. Oh my god. Gets every single worker, denies the gold, thankfully. Oh. We do kill one of those disruptors. Is there a world? Can Kelazhur take a fight? Oh god. I'm not seeing it. So we dive on the army, we get a ghost, a couple of Marines, they get left behind. And Kelazhur, he just barely has a standing army. I'm sure he should be aware that these bases are under control of SKillous. Another CC is going to be going down. SKillous is going for the last bastion of hope. The production of Kelazhur. Marines in production here. Their add-ons, Tempest, that could be called out. Nova goes up! Oh, and it will connect. A massive connection once again. GG gets called, and SKillous will take game number 1. And that was game 1. That was only game 1 of a best of 5, by the way. Oh my god, that was intense. There were ups, there were downs, a bit of a roller coaster ride of emotions. For a time, Kelazhur had a massive lead, then it slipped away. SKillous brought it back, then it was more back and forth. Things were tied up, and in the end, GG, congratulations. Congratulations here. Oh. To SKillous. But Kelazhur can fight back. He can fight back. Still plenty of games ahead of us. Here we go. Catching up in the chat. Just a couple of libs. The teenager from the lower floor is stealing the bandwidth. Not again. Yeah, from here, looks like game number 2 is going to be on Site Delta. We're just remaking the lobby, just making sure that everything is looking good for our players. Meanwhile, as a reminder, during this series, I believe there's also the lower qualifying match that's ongoing as well. Classic versus Spirit. Not too sure. I think Rotterdam is covering that. I know there's some other English casters, community casters that are covering that series. Maybe Steadfast, I think. Yes, yeah, Steadfast. Some of the others. And yeah, it looks like Classic is currently leading that series 1-0 for the time being. So we'll keep an eye on that. As again, we still have plenty left tonight. And I'm a little bit concerned. I was hoping to get a couple of hours of sleep after this broadcast. I was hoping to sleep a couple of hours before KSL. I don't know if I'll be able to. KSL is in, what, 6 hours? It's 6 hours time from now, I think. 6 hours, so... if our broadcast lasts another 2 hours, then I'll be able to nap for a little bit. I'll be able to get a couple of hours sleep before the cast. Aye. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of site Delta, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player from the land of Brazil. It is Kelazhur. Just double checking my calendar. KSL's today, right? Oh. No! Diego! Papi! Come back to us! No! Turn off the Wi-Fi! Kick them all off! Get them out of here! Oh, as we may have to remake here. It's such a shame. It's gonna be such a shame if Kelazhur does lag out and doesn't have a stable internet. Obviously we're gonna be remaking, obviously, but yeah, hopefully Kelazhur, he can play out today. Hopefully he can participate. Like, he's like, again, that last game was really close. It was really close. I think someone was going over the history, and Kelazhur does have a historic lead over SKillous. Like, he's favored in this series, and he's so close to qualifying. So hopefully these internet issues do clear up, as I think Kelazhur is gonna time out, and we may have to remake. It's still the early game. We're still only 28 seconds in. Like, we can remake without too much issue. We will be backing out, and yeah, we're gonna be waiting for Kelazhur to come back to us. But yeah, hopefully he does. Hopefully things do clear up. We're more than willing to wait for a little bit, just to make sure that everything is looking good. More than willing to wait. But this is not the time for the internet to be acting up like this. This is not the time. Everything is on the line here. Kelazhur, well within his ability to take this series. He just has, let him play, papi. Let him play. But I guess we're gonna be going on a short break, actually, just because we do have to wait for Kelazhur to return. So we're gonna be going on a short break. We'll return soon, I hope, with game number 2, or maybe an update on what's going on. So yeah, we'll sit tight. You know, take this moment, get some water, get some food, get some snacks, take a moment to stretch. Posture check in the chat, make sure we're all looking after ourselves, and yeah, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We'll be back soon. And we are back. I apologize for the delays here, but Kelazhur has returned. He's back. He's alive. The first thing he said when he popped up in the chat, we're like, are you okay? He's like, I'm alive. Like Frankenstein. Oh, smooch. But he lives, and that is what is important, and we can get into the rest of this series, and hopefully, fingers crossed, cross your Ethernet cables, everyone, and give your bandwidth to Kelazhur. He needs it. He needs it to hold on, to survive, to play out this series, because spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran from the land of Brazil, reconnecting with us here and now. It is Kelazhur. Oh, hello, Mr. Probe. Interesting movement here for the Probe, going the long way around, avoiding the traditional scouting pattern, and is going to be moving out across the map. Ooh, actually headed towards that natural base. Okay, so just going for an unorthodox kind of scouting pattern. Just going to be scouting, checking, looking for any kind of proxy before coming in to be a bit of an annoyance across the map. SCV comes in, and again, Kelazhur is going for an economic opener. It is going to be a Rax expand, but we have quite a delay here by SKillous. He should be forcing it, yep, a little bit off center, as the CC is thrown down. Again, it was delayed by a couple of seconds, but not by too much. Oh, as we're getting into our builds, it's going to be a Gate Cyber expand here from SKillous. Everything's looking by the book, everything looking as it should. We are getting into this. We go. As we are easing our way into Game 2. Game 1 was crazy, by the way. It was intense. If you missed out, I highly recommend checking out the VODs. Game 1 ended in a base trade, but even without the base trade, there was just so much to it as well. There was so much back and forth. It was beautiful. It was a solid game of StarCraft. Was the highlight of the night. But alas, the series must go on. That was merely Game 1. And again, Kelazhur is looking to tie it up. Reaper does get into the main. Oh, does pick up a probe. Not a bad pick. 2 probes even. Oh my god. Not bad at all. As EDEP does get across the map, Reaper's going to be zoned away. We do scout the tech. It is going to be a Stargate follow-up here from SKillous. Kelazhur, of course, fully aware as to what is going on. Fully aware of the follow-up tech. As we can actually get into a more normal game. Again, Raz's Station is quirky and weird for a reason, and did lead to nonsense with a robo opener, if you remember. But here, going to be a Stargate into Phoenixes, a lot more standard from SKillous. Should be Phoenixes into Colossi. You could also head into Charge Lots as well. You know, we do have options. As a second adept has arrived, and SKillous, he's denying so much mining time here at the natural. Finally, the Cyclone does rock up, and we should shut this down. Oh, can we get one? We do get one SCV. SCV and Marine, a second Marine as well. SKillous getting as much value as he can. Very nice pickoffs. 2 Marines and a worker. As the adepts are forced out. Meanwhile, behind this additional Cyclone production, we're getting into a bit of a 2-on-1 setup. Sorry, I sneezed. As the Phoenix count is just getting higher, we are throwing down additional gateways, which is interesting to me. We're getting up to 3 gates here on 2 bases before expanding, so a very safe play here at SKillous. Delaying his 3rd base by a little bit. Meanwhile, Kelazhur behind this, working towards that starport. Starport on the low ground, so yeah, straight up 2-on-1. Don't see it too often. Prioritization on stim. This typically leads into medevac production, and there it is. Medevacs are on the way. So Kelazhur looking to be very aggressive. Going to be hitting a very early stim timing, and as it's just over halfway done. Stim Marines alongside Cyclones. Meanwhile, Phoenixes have arrived to pick up one of those Marines. Not a bad start. SKillous has yet to really see all of the production. He's not fully aware of what's going on. But this is a very dedicated push designed to punish a Phoenix commitment. Again, what do we have to defend? We have vanilla gateway units and Phoenixes. And against a mass amount of Stim Marines, SKillous is going to be in some trouble. Here we go. We are pushing. Oh, Marines are going to be caught out, though. We don't really have too many reinforcements here. And Marines, even a Marauder as well. Big pickoffs. Again, the reason for this is because Kelazhur is going for the drop instead. Oh, we do catch one. One Phoenix does go down. We have the drop into the main. Going for additional warpins as well. Slow lots. Charge just now starting. Meanwhile, we stim all the way to the mineral line. The probes! Oh my god, so many workers go down. A good target firing as well from Kelazhur. And at the same time, the main army heads towards the natural. Good kiting. Take down one of those zealots. At the same time, we don't go for the natural, we go for the third. We go straight for the third base. Marines will be lifted, will be evacuated. And I do think we could have tried to bust into the natural to shut down the shield battery and maybe snowball from there, but it looks like Kelazhur is going to back off. He's going to consolidate his army. He's going to reinforce. And he's achieved quite a bit here. As long as he keeps the medevac alive. He's killed 8 workers. The Marines do get cleaned up. But the medevac is going to meet up with the rest of the army. And as the dust does settle, what have we really lost here? It was 14 Marines. That is a pretty hefty amount. But Kelazhur is able to take an economic lead. Again, we are even in workers plus mules. Behind this, Kelazhur is going for a third base. That's a third CC in production. We're not going all in. Kelazhur is working on that next step. Additional Raxes, Widow Mines, Liberators. Actually, really early lib production. I almost glossed over that, but yeah, we're making 2 libs at a time. I imagine it's just to harass across the map, but yeah, we don't typically see a big investment into them this early. So you see SKillous gaining map control with those Phoenixes. Look at the mines. Jesus. The Widow Mines are in position. SKillous does have to be careful. So he does back off a scan into the third base, sees how heavily saturated it is. The Liberators are on the way. Phoenixes are still being active. So far, the Liberators, they have avoided detection. Phoenixes are looking. But they don't come across the drop. Again, the scan did kind of tell, did give a tell to SKillous. And the army has been spotted. But at the same time, a Zealot counterattack is going to be cleaned up in the natural base. Kelazhur going to back off. Spotter Zealots were good enough. And instead, Kelazhur going to be consolidating his army again because of the economic damage he dealt earlier. That's why Kelazhur is ahead currently in supply. He was able to maintain his Cyclone count, a lot of his Marines, keep most of his army alive. And that has led into this follow-up timing. Where he is up, what 20, 30 army supply. And we are pushing. We do come across the 4th. A conservative position here for these Liberators. Looking to just lay siege upon the main. No tanks, though. Do have quite a minefield. Oh my god, that's a lot of Widow Mines. Yeah, libs are set up, and it looks like we will take down that Cyber Core. Charge is done. Colossi are on the way. It does feel like we're on a bit of a timer. Oh, can we get a medevac? We can! One medevac goes down. Mine drop in towards that third. Again, cheeky moves here from Kelazhur. So the runback comes in. There is a bunker in position. The gateway goes down. Here comes a mine drop. Do we have a reaction? We do! Was it too late? Good mine connections. 7 in total. It looks like from here the Colossi have arrived and Kelazhur is backing off. He is backing off. He's going to be consolidating his army. Once again, Kelazhur, he gets a couple of big pickoffs and doesn't commit. Doesn't throw away his units. And as a result, he maintains his supply lead. Bringing everything together, he does get eyes on the Colossi. He has kept his Liberators alive as well. Mine drop into the main. Lives, they have been able to siege up. That's a lot of zealots. Oh my god. But big mine shots. And at the same time, the Water Mines instant made no reaction. Not the best connections. As they'll say, do engage with the army. Zealots say get annihilated though. Not much left over to protect these Colossi. No anti-air, the live. Well, there's that one Phoenix. But we get 19 probe kills. 19 workers go down. The Widow Mines, they reset. It will connect with the army. And now we get the triple jump into the main base. Reinforcements being sent towards that third. Kelazhur pulling SKillous apart. Probes are going down. Kelazhur, yeah, he's just snowballing out of control. It's becoming too much. 15, 16, 17 workers and counting going down. And from here, we can even camp the production. GG gets called, and Kelazhur will take game number 2. We have a series. We do have a series here. We are tied up. It's still best of 5, so this can still go either direction. But Kelazhur is making SKillous work for it. Again, like a really aggressive style out of Kelazhur, but also very, again, just very careful play as well. I do think that a lesser player or, you know, a more adventurous player would maybe overcommit at times or take more chances and take more risks. But Kelazhur, just very careful play there, very careful positioning. You know, he would go in, he'd pick off a cyber core, pick off a gateway, back off, create an opening, go for a mine drop instead. And slowly just accumulate damage over time, build up his army, snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are tied up 1-1. We're getting ready to determine who takes the lead in this series, who will gain an advantage. Who's it going to be? As I believe the other lower quarterfinals is still underway. Bearing in mind that after the series ends, we still have another best of 5 afterwards, which is why I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna get like a 2-hour nap at most before KSL, and then after that, I'm gonna be able to sleep for a couple more hours before WTL, and then we have the Americas qualifier, and then we busy weekend. My body is ready. Cohopia. Here we go. As we're going to be loading in to Golden Aura. Let's go. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. Ooh. In a tied up series being forced here into our next game, we have SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Terran, the red Terran player. Tying up the series 1-1, it is Kelazhur. We go. We are loading into Golden Aura, a much shorter rush distance by ground. Bear that in mind, so aggression is going to be favored on a map like Golden Aura. Likewise, your 3-base setup here is very secure, but before we can get up to 3 bases, we'll see if Kelazhur is going to be able to pop off. We've seen him be very aggressive on Golden Aura in the past. I'm expecting something similar. As we do have a double gas opener here from Kelazhur, going for the racks, into the factory. Now, we have actually seen Kelazhur go for a 1-base all-in on this map before, so that is on the table. He wants the SCV. SKillous. He wanted that worker. Doesn't get it though. It's coming back. Oh my god. This probe, it's a menace. Get out of here. Gonna be threatening that mineral line. Once again, going for the SCV. He wants it. Oh! 2 more hits. Has to be careful. Does have to be careful. Behind this, gate expand into the cyber core. Standard opener here from SKillous. Meanwhile, again, we pointed out that Kelazhur did go double gas, so he's going for a faster factory. I did reiterate earlier that we have seen Kelazhur go for a 1-base all-in on Golden Aura before, It looks like that isn't going to be the case here, as we're going for a Reaper into a Reactor behind this. Okay, Reactor's on the way, Reaper's moving out. Trying to get a read of what's going on. I hope that SKillous goes for a Twilight Council opener. I'd be concerned if we get a Stargate. Phoenixes are typically not ideal when you're up against a very aggressive player in the early game, especially with like a bio-oriented push. Like we saw in the previous game, Phoenixes, they had just very limited capabilities here in what they could pull off. But we'll see. Probe comes back in. Really wants that SCV in there. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener here from SKillous. The probe goes down. Very nicely done. Very nice pick off there from Kelazhur. But again, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener, which I do approve of. I do think it's too risky to go for a Stargate, just because you do leave yourself vulnerable a little bit to these early aggression plays. Adept does arrive, and we do delay the CC. Kelazhur having the wherewithal to pull back. So we have a big delay here on the expansion, at least until the Cyclone arrives. The Cyclone will force back that Adept. Behind this, we're already building up a Marine count. This is looking like a medevac drop. Looks like we're going to be pushing out with 2 Cyclones. We're going to be reinforcing with Marines. We saw this earlier. I think we saw this against Showtime. Where Showtime, when he went for a Stargate opener, was able to shut down these 2 Cyclones first before the Marine drop arrived. And Kelazhur kind of fell on his face. We'll see a very different outcome this time, as there's no way to really securely shut down these Cyclones early on. They're getting a bit of hull damage done before backing off. And here comes the rest of the army. Again, just rallying everything across the map. Medevacs are on the way as well. So a very aggressive start. The goal here is to shut down the Gateway army and to maybe even get some economic damage done at the natural. Ooh, SKillous, he's fanning out his units. We have the Adepts out on the map. They're not at home to defend. Uh-oh. We barely have anything at home here. No shield battery? No overcharge. This natural is so exposed. The Stalkers, they're fanning out here to deal with a drop. But instead we have a push right down the center. And that is an Artosis Pylon. Oh no. Pylon is going to go down. We depower the Gateway. We depower the Robo as well. We do get to surround those Stalkers from every single angle. The juggling is good, but 1 Cyclone does fall. But we're getting into the mineral line. We're trying to at least. We're trying to break in. Reinforcements, they do make it back home. It looks like SKillous will clean this up. Get a bit of a chaotic fight here, but Kelazhur, he's running out of steam. Ooh, as he barely does evacuate. And that was messy. That's maybe the best way to put it. That was a little bit messy, but as we do take stock. That was 1 Cyclone and 5 Marines going down for 4 workers, a Pylon, and a couple of Stalkers. Not an insignificant amount. 5 Stalkers in total. Pretty good. A good trade overall for Kelazhur. He does retreat, does keep one of those Cyclones alive. His tank count looking solid. SKillous does rock up here with a big counterattack. Blink is done. We are actually going for a 4-gate. My apologies, I did miss that. We have 3 gateways in the main, 1 at the natural, 4 gates in total. Tanks are in position. And do we blink in? Oh, we cannot. SKillous investing into a 4-gate and not able to counterattack. He has to double down. He has to come back. He's going for a Dark Shrine. Again, SKillous, he knows that he's in a bit of a precarious situation. So he's going for the DTs, the Invisible Man. We still have the Prism threatening the main. But Kelazhur, he's in position. Up! Oh my god. So he does swap back that army. Does swap back that Prism. So far, Kelazhur stable here on 2 bases. He does have his 3-1-1 set up. No 3rd CC yet, but with this move out, we should throw down the 3rd. Or we can pull the boys. One or the other. Either we commit to an all-in. Now we have +1 attack on the way. We should be taking a 3rd base. And there it is. 3rd base here in the main. The armies will be dancing with each other. SKillous will back off. We could actually go straight for the main here. Instead, he's going to be chasing the army. We go for the scan. We get eyes on the third. And Kelazhur is committed. Oh, these Blink Stalkers doing a great job here, forcing a stim. The DTs, the Dark Templar. Do we have a scan? We do. Oh my god. We do have the scan. Tanks are in position, and immediately we do evacuate that third base. Stalkers trying to find a way in from behind. Prism going into the main base, but we have reinforcements. The DT does come in. Do we have a scan? We pull back to the safety of the turret. We need a scan somewhere, though. The army does dive on forward. The Dark Templar putting in a lot of work, and it looks like SKillous should be able to clean this up completely. Meanwhile, across the map, 13 SCVs go down. These Dark Templar are winning SKillous the game. They cripple the economy. They cripple the army. We still have a DT in the main base, denying the third. And Kelazhur, he's falling apart. He's falling apart at this point. He had momentum earlier, but no longer. Not anymore. He loses every single one of his tanks. And there is still Dark Templar in the main. Ay, ay, ay. No shot. Can we force a cancel? We will. We will cancel this base. Kelazhur, he needs to save it. We do have a scan. Up. It's going to be close. And it looks like we will save the CC. We have our scan. Oh my god. Missile towers are finishing up. CC underway. But again, this has just been a really rough follow-up here from Kelazhur. It's down in workers. We go for another big warp in as well. Without tanks, without bunkers, how can Kelazhur hold on to his natural? And boys, they're gonna have to be pulled. Might just go if they take down the Dark Templar. Good pickups. Good pickups overall. Nice force field. The boys, they're being pulled here onto the army. But we have Zealot reinforcements coming in, and SKillous, he has too much. He's going to be able to break through. 14 SCVs go down. And Kelazhur, he gets knocked down to one mining base. The CC on fire, by the way. Is on fire. A bit of an overextension here from SKillous. He's going to be losing a couple of Stalkers. But again, Kelazhur is contained. Now repairing that CC. And behind this SKillous, he's on 3 bases. He's getting a 4th. Getting further ahead. Kelazhur, he's on his last legs here. There's nothing across the map. GG gets called. There's no fighting back. Not from there. And SKillous will take a 2-1 lead in this qualifying match. GG. Oh. GG, well played. And with that, SKillous needs one more win here to take the series to qualify for IEM Katowice. Kelazhur has to fight back here and now. Now, that last game wasn't bad. Like, Kelazhur, he had momentum at a certain point. He did have advantages, but alas, he could not pull it off. Again, he just wasn't ready for Dark Templar of all things. He was caught off guard. And he was completely shut down. Was shut down in the end. And now he has to fight back here and now. Otherwise, it will be over. Here we go. When Protoss Dark Shrine. Well, what you looking for? Anytime Dark Shrine. There you go. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, it was honestly a really good call. A really good call from SKillous. Did really well for himself. Achieved so much. And with that, again, SKillous has that lead. Uno más. One more. One more is all he needs. And it looks like our next game is going to be on Alcyone. Alcyone. One of the larger maps in the map pool. It's big, it's huge. There are gold bases. There are also rich Vespian gas bases as well. So we have options. We have options if we want to be aggressive, if we want to be cheesy. Otherwise, we could see a long late game on a map like this. Again, because of how many bases there are, because of the long rush distance by ground, we have seen a lot of split map scenarios on this map. We'll see if that's where we're headed. We'll see. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, we have our red Protoss player leading the series 2-1. One game away from qualifying for IEM Katowice. It is SKillous. One more is all he needs. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player from Brazil. He needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Kelazhur. We go. The pressure is on. SKillous needs one more. Kelazhur cannot let him have it. And SKillous, where are we going? Oh. We're all good, we're all good. For a moment there, I thought it was going to be mining through this middle patch. But no, he's going to be skirting across the map here. Towards the center. And going for a scout. Okay, we're good. Again, also checking to make sure that there is no SCV kind of mining through any of these middle patches. Proxies are very common here on the right-hand side of the map. Proxy Starport, Proxy Stargate. Rushing into the gold. Everything is going to be on the up and up there. As, ooh, Kelazhur is going to be going for an economic opener. It's going to be a Rax Expand with a CC on the high ground. So very economic, but also very safe. Opting not to go for the CC here at the natural location. The probe is going to be denied entry of the main. And SKillous is in the dark. Behind this, we're not getting into a 3 racks or anything like that. It's going to be a straight up factory follow-up. As we're getting into a more economic opener. Which makes sense on Alkion. Again, long rush distance by ground and a lot of bases, very defendable on 3 and even 4 bases as well. Seeing a lot of late game. A lot of late game. But I worry because I feel like, again, Kelazhur, he thrives in the mid game. He thrives in chaos and aggression, and sure, we did see a really solid game 1, you know, which was back and forth, you know, 6 base versus 6 base. It was beautiful. But I'm not too sure if that's really what Kelazhur wants. As he does mine through those mineral patches, Kelazhur going for a proxy starport? Looks to be the case. There it is. Starport is on the way. We did mention earlier that, again, it's very common to go for proxy stargates or proxy starports on the right-hand side. Adept trying to shade in. The Adept does, I believe, yep, see the CC on the high ground. So he's aware that it's not a one-base all-in and that it was a single gas opener. And we should be heading for a Hellion drop. Well, we have some options. We could either go for a proxy Liberator or a Medevac. The Medevac would lift up the Hellions from here and head into the main. Or we could just go for the Liberator straight into the main base and Hellions harassing the natural. There it is. It's going to be the Medevac. So we're going for the drop play. Meanwhile, our take of choice is a Stargate this time. Makes sense. On a large map like this, we assume that there isn't going to be a bio push, and we assume correctly. It's not going to be bio. It's going to be Hellions. And these Phoenixes are designed to shut down drop play. No, they come across it. They do get eyes on the proxy starport, which means this medevac is going to be shut down. It's going to be camped, and these Hellions, we may as well just go straight up. We can't go to the natural. We go for the drop. We commit. Yeah, the Phoenix is not going to be good enough. We dive into the main base. There is a shield battery, but 3 shots do one-shot probes. Oh, we do pick up, but we're going to get shut down. Ay, ay, ay. We do evacuate the Hellions at least. The Hellions will make it out, but this has not been enough for workers. And the medevac falls. We do have the Cyclones. Up. The punish. The punish is real. 1 medevac for 1 Phoenix. A good trade for Kelazhur. He's reinforcing with Vikings. Oh my god. Vikings are coming in to reinforce the Cyclones to have arrived. We have the 1 Marine to support as well. He's a part of this. Do have a shield battery, do have an overcharge. Chasing this pretty far back. And the Cyclone lock-ons are insane. We pick off at least the adepts. Behind this, SKillous going straight for a third. It's going to be dancing with the army. Additional Cyclones are rocking up as well. And the overcharge, with it running out, Kelazhur, he can still break through. Oh, as I say that, the Phoenixes are amassing. They're picking up the Cyclones one after the other, and Kelazhur is being shut down. Did overstay his welcome. Stuck around a little bit too long here, and everything is going to be cleaned up. Behind this, Kelazhur going for his expansion, getting it up and running. We do have a 3 rack setup behind this. The problem, though, is that SKillous took a third. Throughout that defense, in the beginning of that defense, he was going straight for a third base, and he has gotten away with it. Wasn't punished. Kelazhur, he didn't check, he didn't see, he didn't know. And now SKillous is looking to just snowball out of control. For now, just gaining map control. Behind this, we're getting into a Twilight Council, a Forge, +1, Blink, or I imagine Charge. And yeah, there's not much to stop him. 2 more SCVs go down. We delay the 3rd TC. The starport has been found and we can shut it down. Not like this. Starport's gonna have to be rebuilt, as it will fall. Cyclone try to come in, but they cannot save it. There it is. Charge is confirmed. So usually it is going to be Charge, not Blink, just because Phoenix is sort of the same role as Blink Stalkers. It's going to be Phoenix Charge lots instead. Picking up more SCVs. 2 more workers go down. SKillous trying to muster up his army. Kelazhur doesn't really have any pushing power at the moment, unfortunately, just because of all of his losses. It's still going to take a while for all this production to kick in. Eventually it will, but Kelazhur is stuck at home. Oof. We do pick off a Phoenix at least, but that was what? 4 Marines? 5 Marines? Keeping the Marine count low. We go for the scan. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that Kelazhur thinks that this is the 3rd, when really it's the 4th.
Add-on complete.
Kelazhur just trying to get a read on what's happening. I'm sure he's aware that this is the 4th base at this point, because of how late it is. I'd like to believe. From here, the role of SKillous is to just, again, build himself up back at home. His Phoenixes are just harassing. That's all they're doing here, just containing Kelazhur to these 3 bases. If a drop ever moves out, then SKillous should be there to shut it down. And he's even getting the gold. Oh my god. Double expanding, taking the 4th as well as the 5th as the gold as well. He's up 2 bases compared to Kelazhur. SKillous just securing himself here at this point. Is this excessive? He can get away with it for now. We'll see. We'll see if Kelazhur can punish. Oh my god, as we're just throwing down smolder pylons everywhere. Phoenixes patrolling towards the north. We have the prism towards the south. Robo's on the way. Colossus production. That's the 2nd Robo for double Colossus production as well. We can really secure ourselves. Meanwhile, back at home, Kelazhur, he's not out of this. I mean, he's working towards a Ghost Academy. He is building up a robust army. So even though SKillous is far ahead in the economy, which is true, and he's getting to Colossus and splash damage and refining his army, there is still potential in what Kelazhur has. Unfortunately, because he's still on 3 bases, he doesn't have like the most sustain for his army, but has potential. The Prism! Oh! We catch it! Bit of miscontrol there from SKillous, leaving that Prism idle. We scan the Observer, we take it down, and here we go. Kelazhur is pushing. He is moving out. He's down 20 workers compared to his opponents, but has a hefty army. And here we go. We are moving out. Oh, we do run into the Colossus, and we're going to have to respect it. Medevac does rally in. Widowmine's just now sieging, but again, that's a lot of bio, and is SKillous going to be overextending here? The Zelta going down, and now we can dive on top of the Colossus. Yeah, big overextension from SKillous. The Colossi, they're going to be going down, and Kelazhur diving on top of the army. His bio, his production has snowballed out of control, and he catches the Colossi. Disruptors are now on the way, Blink as well. But SKillous, a little bit, yeah, just a little bit too greedy, just got caught out. A little bit too adventurous. The gold base is gonna fall. Oh, we ignore the gold, which is a good call. We gotta send it. Pushing towards the 4th. Disruptors are on the way. This army is so heavily overstimmed. Oh my god. It's so deep in the red. Nova goes off. Does not connect. We have another Nova. Again, just zoning back the army. Kelazhur, he gets on top of the base itself. The 4th is going to go down. Yeah, these Zealots, they're going to melt. And it looks like a Kelazhur. We're forcing another game here. Nova goes off. Up. Doesn't connect. Not good enough. And this 4th base is going to fall. SKillous being a little bit too greedy, and again, just being caught out. Now, to be fair, Kelazhur was also very committed with his attack. Like, he needed to make this work. Like, he had to make this happen, and he did. So gold base goes down. From here, SKillous is building up his army. He still has a comparable economy. His disruptor count's getting a little bit higher. Can he take a fight? He can take a fight, technically. But Kelazhur has such a lead. There's no way, right? There's no way we get like a repeat of Radisson Station, right? Triple drop into the main is going to be denied. Would you confirm the army? At the same time, Kelazhur are going to be rotating over toward the left-hand side. And SKillous is being pulled apart. He cannot defend both locations at once. Not like this. Never goes off. Does miss. Right, Colossi is in position. No shield battery. No overcharge. Yeah, we dive on top of the Colossus. We will focus it down. Kelazhur. It looks like he barely should have enough here to break through. At the same time, Novas go up. They don't connect. And Kelazhur, he's just securing himself here by getting a kill on this Nexus as well. Up, just barely. Oof. Mine shots go up. SKillous, he's keeping it. He's holding on. He's holding, but Kelazhur, he wants it. One more shot, that's all we need. Here come the reinforcements, and Kelazhur will get on top of that Nexus, will shut it down. SKillous down to 3 bases. And as SKillous tries to defend his 3rd, he gets pulled apart. GG gets called, and Kelazhur will fight back, tying it up 2-2. We're going to the ace match. GG. Oh. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 5. I was smudging after the failed push of Kelazhur initially, after he was being contained. It was looking brutal, but I was caught off guard by SKillous taking the goal base, and I do think he was being a little bit too greedy and maybe a little bit overconfident. I think that's the word that I was looking for. I do think that he was a little bit overconfident after the start of the game, and I don't blame him necessarily. I don't blame him for being overconfident, but you know, it was his downfall in the end. Was his downfall. He was caught in the center of the map. Again, he was investing a lot into tech and economy, as well as army, kind of splitting his attention in 3 ways, and was caught out. And with that, we're getting into our next game. Oh, one moment. Ah. I do apologize. A bit of sorry, a bit of an emergency IRL. So I did actually end up missing Smurge. I did end up missing I did miss the lobby, unfortunately, as the game has commenced, but thankfully, I can actually switch our scenes over, and bam! We're getting into the A-Search. We're getting into game number 5 here between both SKillous and Kelazhur. In the bottom right, of course, we have Kelazhur. In top left, we have SKillous. We have Kelazhur going for a bit of an E-Way block here on the low ground. Is going to be delaying the expansion. Thankfully, Kelazhur was able to get eyes on... thankfully, SKillous was able to get eyes on this ahead of time, and is going to be able to shut this down without too much issue. We'll be able to expand on location. Oh, again, I do apologize for missing this, but yeah, something was happening IRL, so do apologize, but everything should be fine. Everything should be good as we're getting here into game 5. Because I am going to be restreaming here, big shout out to Cosmos, going to be restreaming from Cosmos's POV. I will not have in-game sounds, as Cosmos is going to be casting on his own channel. So I'll do my best. Do apologize. Ooh. But yeah, from here we do see Kelazhur going for a Rax Expand. I say that is going to be going for, Rax Expand here, opener instead. So something, of course, about Oceanborn is, no! We have ads! Hold on. I think I can fix this. God damn it. Right, I forgot that ads are a thing. We'll be able to cast from here instead, I hope. Man, there we go. Okay. Whew. But yeah, okay, so talking about Oceanborn again, short versions of my grant, it's very common to go for an E-Way block here in TVP to try to deny that expansion. Alas, we weren't quite able to here, as SKillous was on top of it, was able to shut down. We saw something similar between both Kelazhur and Showtime, as the Reaper does make it into the main base. We do get eyes on the Twilight Council. Our tech of choice, it is going to be Blink. Reaper goes down, but at least it does go down by scouting, of course, and by confirming what exactly is going to be coming up next. So a pretty big scout there from Kelazhur back at home. Cyclone's going to be shutting down these adepts. At least one of them, another adept, does make it out. And we're going to be expanding as well behind this. Of course, getting our natural up and running. Do have a 2-1-1 setup. Ooh, very fast stim. We've seen this before from Kelazhur. We have a very hefty attack on the way. Cyclones alongside a bio army. I think we saw this earlier this series. I don't think it was against Showtime. I think against SKillous, right? When SKillous did open up Stargate. Thankfully, this time he does have Stalkers. One Stalker goes down. Good control here from Kelazhur. Ooh, as the Cyclone will still get picked off. Trading a Cyclone for a Stalker. Not the best trade from our Red Terran. But regardless, he's still building up his forces. And again, is soon to be moving out with a terrifying army. Behind this, SKillous, he's going for, I think it was a 2-gate opener into a 3rd Nexus. So very economic. Which is a little bit concerning, right? Very economic opener here from SKillous. He has very limited production available, a very small army as a result. And Kelazhur is soon to pull the trigger. As the Cyclone does get into the natural base, into the mineral line. 2 workers do go down. The Adept gets in. The Adept does slip into the main base. Getting a couple of SCV kills. Getting a couple of those workers. Likewise, tanks are getting in position. Good pickoffs here. Oh, good tank shots. As Kelazhur was able to catch his opponent. And again, he wants to push. Stim is about to finish up. +1 is on the way behind this, sure, but we do want to first hit our Stim timing. Kelazhur is moving out. Again, robot production underway. Nexus getting up and running for SKillous. Now, thankfully, he's going for some safety immortals before the Colossus. Very important that he does so. If he had skipped the immortal, then he'd be in a lot of trouble. Tank getting sieged up. A good force field slowing down the army. Shield battery still on the way. Still on the way here for SKillous. The tanks are getting within range. Oh, they're going to be able to shell away at the shield, but I mean, they do force a cancel, and they can take down the base. Yeah, the Nexus is going to fall. Big pickoff here for Kelazhur. A big pickoff. So pylon is going to be going down. And from here, Kelazhur is going to be retreating. Oh, is going to lose the tank in the process, unfortunately. But again, really mature decision for Kelazhur to just retreat from here, take a third base of his own, and get ahead economically. Losing the tank was pretty big. It does mean that this follow-up eventual army that Kelazhur is working with is going to be one tank shorter. But regardless, is retreating and is expanding. Here we go. Before this match, they were 36 and 36 in games. Oh, let's go. I mean, it makes sense now to go all the way to the ace match. This could still go either way. Tank line is looking solid. SKillous went behind. That's a Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine is on the way. Dark Shrine is in production. And from here, Kelazhur is just going to be taking his third. Again, there's a lot of potential with the Invisible Man, as we saw previously. As we did see in previous games. They did, of course, win SKillous the game earlier. But again, this time, Kelazhur is going to have, triple orbital. I'm sure going to be throwing down the Abigail. Turrets are on the way. We'll be better set up for it. Meanwhile, his opponents, now that we've reached critical mass of Colossus, 3 Colossi are done. Disruptors are on the way, and we're going to be easing our way into the mid game. Kelazhur is in a better position, yes, but SKillous is catching up. He's taking a 4th, taking another expansion, recovering in that worker count. Taking his 4th. Now, sure, Kelazhur, again, he may be ahead in supply, but there's always potential here with Disruptors. 1 or 2 good Novas, and SKillous can catch up in supply. Likewise, Dark Templar as well. They can slip into a mineral line. They can eviscerate SCVs, and there is comeback potential here for SKillous. Well, as Kelazhur is going to be pushing, he's going to be moving out. There we go, Colossi. They do catch some of the army. Kelazhur caught off guard, caught unsieged. Does go for the scan. I think he does see some of these Zealots coming in, and Kelazhur, he turns everything back around. A bit of an overreaction, but there we go. He's now going to be pushing. SKillous though in position at the tall grass. There you go. Disruptor has arrived. The scan does reveal it. Kelazhur, he is aware. As Kelazhur has maxed out, he's reached that 200 supply. Is going to be threatening a dive. It's going to be threatening a push. Actually going to be splitting up his army here. He does have an army threatening the 4th. Meanwhile, he's pushing towards the natural. And can SKillous keep up? He's trying to. Disruptor is barely on the way. Nova's going to be going off on both sides. So far, Kelazhur, he does avoid them. Does avoid some of that. Oh, we paired away! Nova goes off, doesn't quite connect. As we're getting into the natural base, can be the production depowering of Robo. There is an opportunity for Kelazhur. Takes down the bay. I need one more disruptor on the way. The tanks, they are exposed though, as we do dive on top of the 4th base. We do have a Nova going off! And it connects! Big connection on the army. Yeah, if it wasn't for that connection, we would have been able to break this Nexus, but alas, Kelazhur is being forced back. Another tank is going to be falling. The Colossi, they rotate over. And SKillous, he holds. He does hold on to his fourth. He was so close to losing it. Ay, ay, ay. Kelazhur is forced back. He's getting his fourth base on location. Like, this was meant to be a kill move. This was meant to be it. But here we go. The drop play continues. The drop play does continue here as we head in towards that natural base, looking to pull apart SKillous. 8 workers go down. Remember, the Bay died. We can't make any more Disruptors or Colossus. We can't make anything else. Yeah, as we're going to be trading here with these Stalkers. And can we go for the fourth? Send it, Papi, send it. Colossus, they're being dragged to the natural. The main army towards the fourth base. 14 workers go down. That's a lot of Disruptors. The Novas go off. Ooh, the Novas, they will connect. Some of them will, but not the others. Good target firing here from Kelazhur. Focuses down 3, 4 Disruptors. And it looks like he will get on top of this next as the fourth base is going to go down. At the same time, drop into the main. The Colossi, they barely try to escape. Oh, they barely do try to escape, but the army just stims on forward. Nova goes off, connects. But there's barely an army. Going for a big warp in of Zealots. The Vikings, they land, but it's just too much. GG gets called. And Kelazhur will be qualifying for IEM Katowice. He takes down SKillous 3-2. He's got that plane ticket. GG. GG, well played. I apologize for not being in game for it, but congratulations. Congratulations. Whew. As Kelazhur will make it in the end. Does just pull SKillous apart there. Again, a very, very aggressive build from Kelazhur. A very aggressive opener, I should say. Moving across the map, and yeah, even though he wasn't quite able to kill his opponent, he was able to shut down the third. And that was enough. Shutting down the third base was enough to get ahead. And from there, he was able to pull apart his opponent. Just had too much supply to work with. And SKillous just could not keep up with the multi-pronged aggression of Kelazhur. Pushing in towards the main, the natural, the fourth base. GG. GG, well played. Oh wait, hold on. Congratulations. Congratulations to Kelazhur. Diego, papi, Diego. GG. Again, unfortunately, I wasn't quite able to make it into the lobby for that last one, but we should be able to get into the lobby for our next series here. As we have some updates. We have some catching up to do.